Because like I say, I set standards, so nobody couldn't take me and put me in nobody's basement to stay, to come and do no show for no small money. I had a whole rider of what I wanted to be given to me. As of now, I am engaged, but I'm not married. One thing that is not going to ever happen.
How do you write your songs? Do you get a melody first, or do you put pen to paper and then find a melody? How do you inspire yourself to write a song?
It's I'm not the poetic type. People who like to write poems and stuff would write and then look for a melody. For me, I want the melody first. After I get the melody, I standing up in front of the mirror. I want to see if I could move to this melody, if it's too fast, if it's too slow, if it have the right tempo. And then I have to have an idea now of what I want to put when I'm writing. And that's another thing, because when you write, the song have to tell a story. It has to tell a story. Sometimes you write and you get one verse and a chorus, and you have to wait a couple of days again to pick up. If you try writing the whole song same day, trust me, you will be scratching out and writing over, scratching and writing. So I write piece and sing it, get a next piece. Yeah. Surprisingly, when I did through Vincy, I guess it's because I had this anxiety in me and this love for Vincy, and I wanted to do this. And I knew what I was missing living outside of St. Vincent when I wrote that song. That song was written in one night through Vincy. So there are times when you could take one night, and then there are times when you can take weeks into a month.
Yeah, because you have to have that inspiration, and that idea has to come. You know, so basically before you can put pen to paper, you have to have an idea. Yes. And so I'm just trying to push out, because sometimes some people say, oh, she write a song, it doesn't sound good, because they do not know, because of your story. They have to get into your story to know exactly what you're trying to put out. And sometimes some people do not get that story that you're trying to sell. And then the radio stations sometimes also push your songs. Some do, some don't. Do you have any song that you sung and you think it would have taken off in Carnival, but when Carnival finished, that song took off? Do you have any song that you can come to your memory about that?
Yes. I remember, I can't even remember if I heard you play that song, Party Jagabats. Party Jagabats was made for Carnival in St. Vincent, and I don't think a lot of people really took to it. But then there was a basketball side that took the song up. And these are the kind of things that sometimes shock you, you know? The song play for Carnival and people don't really take it on, and then during the year, it picks up and swing. Party in Excess 2019. A lot of people, I don't know, some people were like, oh, Party in Excess, but then after you hear it for a third or a fourth or a fifth time, and then they see me perform it, then they have a love for it, and then they want to hear it, you know. So some take off around the season and some take off after.
Yeah, I say that because sometimes the song that you want to push, sometimes it doesn't generate with people until after, when Carnival is finished, that they can sit down and really pay attention to your story and pay attention to your lyrics, because everybody in a different mood at Carnival. They take in your songs differently.
Yes.
So saying that, what would you do? What are some of the experience that you gain from that you push aside and put Fya Empress in a different bracket?
Would I change anything? No, because you needed some of these experiences to make you into a stronger person. So some of the mishaps that I had, most of them, I could laugh now. A lot of people still suffering from stuff that happened for them for years. But I took mines and I made them into stepping stones. I still have a love for music. So if we ever have the opportunity to do carnival again, I was just told as of yesterday, I think that Trinidad and Tobago is going to have a carnival for fully vaccinated people. If they do that, I don't know what would be the position for St. Vincent. Am I waiting on them to start to write? No, I've already started writing. I have music that I have not put out yet, but I don't know. I would not change anything. I would not.
And saying that, Fya Empress, have you ever performed, say, in Canada, anywhere in Canada?
Yes.
Yes, how you like the crowds in Canada?
Over there in 2013, 2012, 2013, when Rumpley's just come out, and God, look, me gonna go let our people business again. Listen, this is the part what we did not discuss. Traveling to do shows for your own promoters them in different countries. My experience, and I guess it's because, like I say, I set standards, so nobody couldn't take me and put me in nobody's basement to stay, to come and do no show for no small money. I had a whole rider of what I wanted to be given to me. And one of my rules were that I will have half of my down payment and the other half before I get on stage. I mean, a thing that that went down too well with some of the promoters, because a promoter feel like if when he do a show and he show boss, you're supposed to feel sorry and don't charge him what you originally, and these are the kind of things that I don't take lightly at all. I have set standards, and if you work with me, I work with you. It's simple. Don't expect me to come and I reach in your show. I remember one particular show I did in Canada. It was the last one, simply because the guy, I asked for the stuff on my rider, so of course I was put in a hotel. When I was finished, he gave me like 300 Canadian short, and then took the other artists all the way from Canada, decided to drive to New York and leave me to catch my own taxi to go back to the airport to travel home. I'm a person, I always have X money whenever I go anywhere. So did it affect me? Yes, I was angry that I didn't get what I wanted after I have given my services, but I still decided to just leave it alone and let bygones be bygones. So that's another thing. Sometimes you make good with some promoters and some just, yeah.
Yeah, because I know a couple artists who have problems as promoters, because promoters always bring you out.
Too much, listen, too much a friend thing. Too much a friend thing is what us get us artists in trouble. Me, I have no friend with business, so therefore I will not be popular because I have no friends with business. I love my craft. I give my craft off at a price. If you can't afford it, then that's just what it is. I am going to have to be the underdog until such time, but I am not dropping.
Yeah, you have to set a standard.
Yes.
And you have to bring people up to your standard. You don't go down to their level.
Yes.
If you give a promoter a price and he cannot pay, don't tell you to come and we're not shortchange you.
Exactly.
That's not professional.
Exactly.
Once you get there, you expect it to be paid what you discuss with him.
Yes.
And not when you get there, you say, well, okay. The problem is not if he doesn't make money or if the show went bad. That's his problem.
Exactly.
That's not your problem. Your problem is that you need exactly what you set out to achieve.
Yes.
And that you must get paid for your work you perform.
That's one of the main reasons why I am not that popular today, because yes, she could sing, yes, she could do this, but she has a price. She goes at a price. And I said that, but my price ain't that bad, you know, compared to a Trinidadian price. And them my price is not that bad, but people just decide, you know, oh, she have Vincy just like me. Oh, she ain't that popular, so I can do this and I can. No, it ain't happening. It's not happening. So that's just what it is.
Okay, let's take in some more Fya Empress.
Woman, 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 woman.
All right, so as promised, let's get up close and personal with the Empress now.
Yes.
So you were saying that your ex-husband was your manager up to 2017, I think. Is that up to 2017? But your current husband is also your manager now?
No. As of now, I am engaged, but I'm not married.
Okay, that explains on your Instagram the Nokia iPhone thing, right?
I think you following too much.
Folks, if you're listening or watching, you have to follow her on Instagram. You have to follow Fya Empress on Instagram, yes. And you would see what I'm talking about.
The person that is in my life now is not a Facebook person. It's not a social media person at all. Like I say, you learn from your experience. One thing that is not going to ever happen again is my private life being so exposed on social media. You're going to have Fya Empress. You're not going to have Lornet. I'm not giving you that opportunity to view that side of me. And I always say, people will always take what you give to them. You give them your private life and they will dabble in it. You give them business, they dabble in it the same way. I've learned. So, I was burnt and I've learned. My relationship now is 100% better than it was when it was on social media. Yeah.
So you're staying a while in England now, or in London now, or you?
Yes, I'm based in England now, simply because my better half is here. We will be going to St. Vincent next year, and we'll make that other step, which will be very private. Because as an artist, I know people are forgetting your business. I mean, I want them in my business like that. So it's going to be close family oriented.
Yeah, that close family only invited to the wedding. Yes. Yes. I'm glad you clarified that, because in your Instagram, it was like a lot of okay, why did she make this skit? Why did she? And it was one of the questions I was going to ask you. How is it working with your husband as the manager? In this case, now your ex-husband as being your manager.
I am divorced, so he has
and I said ex, right?
no part. And my present has not. He doesn't. He has his own business to manage, so he has taught me to manage myself, to do things differently. So, and when I look at it now, I tell myself, I say, so wait, if I was doing this long time, I would have actually know, because I never used to really, the money and the finance, I never used to study that. All I wanted was the mic to sing. And that was my mistake, because a lot of money passed, a lot. And I don't know where it went for today.
I don't think you should call it your mistake though. I think, like you said, it's a learning experience. It's something that, because you were a family, so you wouldn't expect to be robbed by your own family or something like that. So
what?
I mean,
don't you remember the Tina Turner story?
So we have to go and make a movie now.
I always say my next thing was to write a book, because my partner now have written a book before. So I told him, I said, maybe I need to sit down with one of these little recorders and talk my experience, my whole experience, and let you put pen and paper and write. So don't be surprised if you see a book on the shelf soon, The Life of Fya Empress, because trust me, it is interesting, very interesting.
So let us in on a little know, where is he from? I mean, I know he's living in London, but originally.
My partner?
Yes.
My partner is 100% Vincentian.
Gone back to your roots.
Yes.
Nice.
100% Vincentian, who spent almost 50 years here. So he's British. He left grammar school and came here, and the rest is history. So, I mean, the mentality is still different to the average, Vincentian and how we think. But I love what I have now. Like I say, do you miss your ex? Nah, not you don't miss Nokia when you have iPhone.
But I must say though, you look like so relaxed, so happy, so content, and all I can do is to give you my blessings as well on your new relationship. So back to the music now. Are you still going to be traveling back to St. Vincent for Carnival time?
Yes,
and
very much so. And you see what I did? I left Trinidad where I only had to spend like 2,000, 3,000 TT for a ticket to come in here, where I have to spend more now to get back to St. Vincent. To give and like that's why I said, yes, I love the music. What I'm prepared to invest depends on what is there now, or what we're gonna get when and if the stage open again. I want to start recording more Afro beats. I want to get a little bit more international. So I was thinking of the Afro beats, because I find people more gravitating to that sort of a swing now. So I'm thinking to get into a little bit of more international feel with my music. So my investment might more be on getting better and more international music that is going to be for a wider air and not just St. Vincent Carnival, because Carnival is just a seasonal thing and nobody really now took it on. I mean, the artist is glad when the time come to see how much money they make out of the season. And after that, that's it. When you ask them, we're singing 2013, they can't remember, because some of the music, they don't even record it. So for me, is creating material that would be of a wider spectrum for people to enjoy, and not just Vincentians. I would like to keep the swing and the topics, yes, but a little bit more international.
I saw you on your Instagram singing one song, an Afrobeat song. I don't know if it's yours or I don't know if it belongs to somebody, but You sound pretty good on it, though.
Sacrifice my life to be your wife. I'm gonna be there for you. But if you break my heart, I go there to your father. You gonna be my son, you go call me your mother.
Cause if you break my heart, I go brave your father. You're gonna be my son, you go call me. Yeah, I was just trying to play around. Listen.
Is it somebody else's song or you just were singing the words?
It was a piece of a TikTok rhythm
okay.
that I did. But yeah, I wanted to see how people would have gravitated to that sort of a swing. So I know that people want something new, they want change, but listen, every year is a different swing and a different era. I don't know how much people realize things has changed a lot since 2012. A lot has changed. People want more. They always want more. So my thing is only to try to better my craft. My partner asks me all the time, "What? You don't want to sing anymore? You don't want to write anymore?" And I have to tell him, I get rhythms all the time, and that's one thing that keep coming in, rhythms. Rhythms, the only person that benefit from a rhythm is the producer. So I have to see which rhythm I will put a song on. The rhythm has to get popular, and then your song has to get popular. So I am just between motions. Yes, I get the rhythms, I feel them out, but I have not been writing recently. I recorded some songs late last year, and when I listen to them now, there are things I want to change. I did 2 songs when I went to St. Vincent last year because I was home last year before I came here, and I was in the studio again. And when I listen to them now, I still see things I want to change. So music changes all the time. It's just really to grab the right one and roll with it. And it has to be a hit. And for me, that's difficult because I know what I want. It would take time, but we would get it.
That's good because not everybody can embrace change, So once you can embrace change, you'll always be relevant in the music industry. Yes. So you have a daughter that also sings. Tell us about that.
My first daughter, her name is Kewani Ned. She's a police officer in Anguilla now. She has a daughter, so her daughter is going to be 1 year on the 15th of this month. That makes me a grandmother.
Congratulations.
So, yes, and she does the same thing that I used to do, which was beside her 9-to-5 job as an officer, she works in the hotels with her own systems and sing. Funny you should say that because in 2013, she won this trophy from Skinny Next Big Thing in St. Vincent.
Oh, really?
And decided that she wanted to come up against me in the soca. Yeah. And that caused a big uproar because I was like, and it wasn't because she wanted to do it, but the producer wanted bacchanal because the producer is somebody who I would not use to do anything for me. But because he was working with her, he was trying to tell her, oh, if you go with this, you go win she. So I had to go to my father and tell my father, listen, if you don't want me to embarrass my own child on stage, Soca Monarch Night, please tell her don't come and sing. Please tell her don't compete. And she took it right down to the wire until she was like, okay, I won't. But yeah, and producers trying to come between a mother and a daughter. That's to tell you how much I even got that right in St. Vincent. Wow. But we're good now. We have always been good. I'm a grandmother now, like I say, and she still has her love for music, and she's still doing music.
But you had wished that she had gone into calypso as opposed to soca, because for you she has a more.
That would not have happened, simply because, like I said, I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist home, and she stayed in that. Right now, she called my music secular music, and she's not of that, and that's not the music for her. So it would have never happened.
So she's more of a gospel singer, though. Like, yes. You would prefer that?
Yes.
Wow, interesting. I think you mentioned that you were singing, because you didn't tell us that you were singing in what you were doing in Trinidad, well, in Tobago, where you were based in Tobago, that you were singing at the hotels, on a regular basis.
Yes.
So just tell us a little bit about that as well.
The hotels is where I got to master my craft. Tourism is on a high level over there. You could actually get 2 hotels in one night to perform at. This was the money that I used to come back and make my productions. That's where I used to get my monies from. One show would give me up to 1,500 TT per show. They were 2-hour shows. You perform for 2 hours, dinner time. Sometimes you would do brunch. Sometimes you get government. No, that's a different show again. The government itself, when they hire you to do a show, you will get up to 5,000 TT, which would be about 2,005, but their shows would be like a 15-minute show for them. So I used to get a lot of government shows and a lot of hotel shows where I would work 7 nights per week. Sometimes I have two shows per day. Don't talk about if we had cruise ship season. That's another thing. I used to get the cruise ship shows where I used to be. When the cruise ships come in, you would be right there and you have to sing all these songs like Day-o, Day-o, daylight come and me want go home. I didn't mind singing it, because when I done, my little basket that I have down on my side used to be full with tips. So I used to get my tips, plus I used to get paid, and then I go in the night and I do my hotel shows. So I never had to think about a 9-to-5 job. All I knew was music all my life. I put myself in a position. Now, Tobago is not like that anymore. One of the reasons why I left Tobago. It's not like that anymore. The people now think that they get wise, beside the fact that they think, oh, so she wasn't a Tobagonian, so now we know she's not a Tobagonian, so now we go get she shows, or now we go get that. And then I had to deal with the hotels breaking down, because, okay, I asked you for 1,500. Somebody come now and decide, if she asking for 15, I go ask for 1,000. So then there were all these other little heads, but before they catch on, I think I had a good grip of it. I had a good grip of it for a couple of years, well, where I was the thing, and then everybody start, oh, well, if she's doing it, I could do it too. And so then you have 10 bands, one man doing a show for 200.
Wow.
So then and there was when I knew it was time for me to make a change.
And when I say I can't keep up with you, and you're cheating me in my interview, so let me hear. There was a job that you did before, bartending, right? Give us a little story behind that, because I know the little story and it made me laugh, and maybe, give us a little story that everybody was coming in and playing drinks.
Bartending. When I left Barbados and I came down to Trinidad, and this is another joke again. Now, let me tell you like it is. I took the boat from Barbados. But the boat was coming from Barbados, going to St. Vincent, and then to Trinidad. My idea when I get on the boat was to go to St. Vincent. I meet this girl on the boat. She said, oh, come, let me go Trinidad. You will make money in Trinidad. You go sing down there and you go make money. In my mind, now I knew what she was doing on the boat. Before, when I just met her, I didn't know. But when I put one and one together now, I knew what she was doing on the boat. So I asked her, where she going? She said, she going Trinidad. Where come from? Trinidad. She just come for the ride. Okay. So I reached Trinidad now. But when we reached Vincy, I had to pay the extra to go Trinidad. So I come off, must step on the boat. Reach Trinidad. When I reached Trinidad, clear immigration, she decided now, oh, come, let me go. So she took me up in the street. Now I know where it is. It's a place called Duke Street in Trinidad. And then an upstairs, but the place has a bar. And the lady living upstairs there too. So she carried me upstairs. And I start thinking funny because the bar had a pole, dancing pole and all this kind of thing. Don't laugh. And I saying, but what I going to do? Anyway, reach where she came by the woman. The woman said, turn around. Because I stand up in front of her and she's this big lady. And she said, yeah, mama. So I go on there. She said, turn around, let me see her. You're so skinny, you ain't even have nothing on your bones them. You're so skinny. But don't worry, we can work with you. I said, eh? I said, miss, what me going to do? She said, don't worry. We go outside and you can see some girls. They will show you what to do. I laugh into myself because I saying, this is what I going to do. Up to now, she not tell me where I'm going to sleep. She ain't tell me nothing. She just say, this is, when we go and see the girls, them, one of them, they head upside down on a pole, swinging, coming down the pole. And the next lady asking me, you could walk in high heels. I said, excuse me? I tell the girl that brought me now, I asked her, I said, I need to find a phone booth. And she showed me where the phone booth was. And I went and I called my mother. And I asked her because I knew my grandmother was living in Trinidad. So I asked her, I said, Mommy, don't ask me no questions. I am in Trinidad. I need to know where my grandmother is. You need to ask my father where he mother day and give me the number. I call you back. Because them time is the companion cards that you're using, tuck inside phone. Me know nothing but a cell phone yet. I wait. And I call she back. She give me the number. I call my grandmother. My grandmother said, where you? I said, I'm in Port of Spain. She said, okay, walk down the road. And she gave me the directions to go to her house. And that is how I got away from almost becoming a pole dancer. Not by choice, but by force, because I would have need a roof over my head. Yeah, I got away from that. My grandmother picked me up. More drama. Because my grandmother now, where she living, she telling me, oh, my gate close at 5 and open 5 in the morning. So anywhere you go, make sure you reach home by 5 o'clock in the evening. I can't get no work. If I get a work, I can't get nowhere to sleep. So it was one trouble to the next. Anyway, I stayed by her for like a month and a half. I got somewhere to rent, which was like 2 houses from her. And that's how I started my journey in Trinidad. I got a job. It was on the cruise ship complex. Again, that was bartending. And of course, the Calypso, Tuco Calypso tent used to be there. That's how I knew about Calypso. And that's how most Calypsonians remember me as the bartender that used to be there working. So that's where, and how I made extra money. When anybody come and they see us, say, oh, what you drinking? I'm buying a drink for you too. I drink in Bailey's. A Bailey's is like 20 TT. I take my money and I chuck it down inside my thing. I might take one drink, but bear in mind I get in 10 drinks before the night done. At $20, trust me.
Wow,
that's how I see.
That's survival.
Yes.
Yeah, and before we play the other song there, you also deal with controversy like different than a lot of people. Like you're not the average person who's gonna hold malice and whole thing against people. Like if we go back to, I think it's 2012 when it was the controversy, I think you also said it that you had to take the Calypsonian committee to court. Lady Gypsy was one who was very vocal towards you she didn't want you to compete. But at the end of the show, you went to her and you hugged her and you embraced her and you were very grateful, in fact.
Because I knew it was not solely her fault. She just found a loophole that she think that she could have used to get into the competition. Listen, when you know that, okay, then she got in, okay, Fya Empress inside the finals, and I could have been there. And wait, somebody says she not from here, I can use that. I could have been more vocal and go up on Facebook and start to cuss. You don't achieve anything from that. I knew what I had to do. Basically, I had to take them to court. If I take them to court, this is what is going to happen. One or two things. You make sure and let them know that, hey, I'm a standing member of TUCO. This is what it is. I have been in competitions before. Many years in competition, more than 15 years singing with them. So obviously, if I now get into the finals and you now realizing that, then somebody went wrong somewhere and I sign up for this. So that's what I did. I knew that I would not have, I know I was betting for last place, but I just wanted to prove a point that I was in my right when I decided to get into these competitions. So I deal with things differently. Some people expect, oh, when you get in a controversy, you have to take off all your clothes and cuss this one and cuss that one. I am not made of that. I can't.
And it was very admirable the way you did it at the end. You still embraced her, and you also said you also said to the media that this was the closest I've ever gotten to Lady Gypsy. So you don't see why the controversy should still be there. So yeah, it is good. It's a good look when you do stuff like that, because when people who are looking up to you see those things, they can also know how to react, in the future. So, and that's really a good representation of St. Vincent and your morals, of course.
Thank you very much.
Fya Empress, I know you say you want to try different type of music. Do you have any intention to extend your musical career to Africa, or get some African beats into your music?
Yes. Moving to Africa, no. But I've already started to embrace their culture. I've been doing it for quite some time. I'm trying to see who's better to work with. Everything boils down to money, what you have, what you're prepared to invest, who, if the artist is going to do you good, because it's all fine to do a collab with a popular artist, but then it doesn't always work for you. It could work against you sometimes. So I am thinking of getting rhythms. To me, rhythms work across there. Africa, the songs might just get a chance as opposed to when you do a ragga rhythm or a soca rhythm. So I'm basically looking into the music now and what would best work for me, if it means doing a collab with a popular African Afrobeat artist, or do I just get straight into the Afro music? So it's taking some time. I have some people working on some stuff for me, but yeah, that's what I want.
Because as I tell you, there's a lot of music I see coming out from Africa now, and once you get into that market, you can explore a lot, because a lot of people don't really realize now that the African music and the African culture, when it comes to our kind of music, is taking off. So the earlier you get into that market, it can be very profitable for you.
Yes, I do have plans on getting into it.
Great. So that's one thing we're looking forward to from you. And anytime you do release something, just make sure you can make sure I put my hands in
it. You guys have become my friends now. So most definitely I will be sorting on some drops for the radio station, and also getting information from you guys, so that when I'm sending out music and stuff, that you're a part of it.
This is your radio station. Anytime you want to drop by, if you want to drop by, you just drop by. I'm not going to put anything on you. You just got to, if you don't get in touch with me, you get in touch with Moulton. Hey, I have something I want to be on this weekend. No problem. It's your radio station.
I'm so grateful for that.
Use it as your radio
last
station.
Week, I wanted to get on so bad last week, but I went to watch football. My partner is a little bit of a Man United fan, so he has season tickets. So we went to football, and driving back from Manchester was a little bit difficult, getting home on time. And you see how long the interview was? We could have never do this on the road. So I'm happy that you guys actually open your doors. And even though I couldn't make it last week, you give me a chance to do it this week. I'm very, very grateful for that.
We always sacrifice. We open the door of sacrifice. Once you say, okay, I can't make it this week, we find a space for you next week. Because we know we travel as well. Sometimes I travel from here to Toronto. I travel from here to Montreal. Even my host basically go to Montreal every weekend. And we know getting back sometime, we planned it, but we're not always on the road to see what the traffic is like.
Yes.
So we do sacrifice, and we do give a lot of artists the opportunity, because what we want to do here and Vincy Internet Radio is give you the opportunity to sell yourself. As I say, the interview is yours. We are only the hosts. So anytime you want to come back to Vincy Internet Radio,
it will always be my pleasure to come back. You guys got me to talk all my business that I ain't even tell no other radio station or no other interviewer ever. So whoever is listening now, I'm sure that they would be grateful to know that you did get Fya Empress, who Fya Empress is, where I started, and where I want to go.
Because as me and Moulton was discussing, this interview not gonna be an hour. So if you're gonna come here for an hour, don't expect to be here for an hour, because we're giving you that chance to make people know who you are. Because now they know who you are, because some people can identify with you. I can tell you, we have a lot of European listeners, especially in the UK, Moulton and London and those areas, Manchester. How would you summarize Fya Empress in a nutshell? I know it's hard, but
Fya Empress is a very spicy entertainer who sings different genres of music. Not a shy person at all. Very, very vocal and verbal on stage. And high-spirited, free-spirited. That's Fya Empress. Lornet is a whole different other story, but yes.
And you didn't tell them the little girl winding up on stage. Tell them about the little girl winding up on stage. That's according to you. I'm just repeating what you say.
Yes. The little that's how they view me at first, the little skinny girl who does wind up. That's Fya Empress. Fya Empress is never afraid to pick up a mic and sing, and loves different type of music. love to travel, love to see. I used to always take my shows I get is always like a vacation for me because I get to see new places. And on top of that, I get to do what I love. So, I mean, Fya Empress get the best of both worlds all the time.
You listen to a very interesting interview with Fya Empress.
Yeah, Fya Empress, I feel so connected to you like we met before, but I don't know if it's because we both have the same religious background, but anyway, all in all, you mentioned collab, and you are also very particular in who you do collab with, but you also did, I don't know if you want to call it a collab with Fya and Lions.
Yes.
That also went down in a way that you also brought it to St. Vincent, and people who were expecting a different vibe, but instead it was a real collective effort, and you kind of promote St. Vincent there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Another stepping stone again that I learned from that particular collab. When I sent out the idea that I wanted a collab, she brought herself to me. And of course, as a person who really now coming out, you hear Fya and want to sing with you, you rush with it and you say yes, not knowing that Marshall Montano wanted to do the same collab, Rum Please, with it. And I chose Fya. It worked for me in some places and in some it didn't, because when we got the whole roster of the shows now, there she was, oh, well, we could do this show, and we can't do this show, and we have enough time for this, and we didn't have enough time. So it sort of didn't work, but work. I don't know how to put it, but yeah, that's why I said sometimes doing collabs could work for you and it could work against you. I did another one with Show in Winchester also. And up to this day, we never performed the song live together anywhere.
Right, so.
And that was what song was that?
But do you think it was from a managerial point of view, or just?
Yes, there you go. People making plans and stuff like that, and it never worked out. So.
Because like a lot of people don't know, like collabs really have to do with also with the energy of the two individuals as well, right? It just doesn't happen like you just grab somebody and do a collab. But
no, it doesn't just happen like that. People when they want to do collabs, they're making sure that it's working for them. For Fya, it was the fact that, oh, as a popular girl in St. Vincent, she make all them crowns from this. So yeah, if I do this, then it would do this for me, you know? And then I grab it because I thought, well, okay, then she's a popular person and it would do this for me, but it never really did, you know? So moving on from there, like I said, you learn from these things. I would not just go and do a collab again because it's a popular person. It has to work for me.
Okay. Can it be fair to say that we might be, or we should, or we could expect a gospel album from Fya Empress?
An album, but
a few gospel songs.
Could expect a few gospel songs from me. Yes.
Or collab with your daughter.
Yes.
Gospel songs.
Yes. Yes, you could. You could expect that, because I had given myself a point as to where I would kind of slow down. I don't want to say stop, because I don't want my fans to think, well, oh, she has lost the zeal for the music. But I don't see myself being a Calypso Rose. I don't see that, simply because I can't see myself a wind up on stage at 60.
So at some point in time, you're going back to the roots.
Yes. When, I don't know, but it is going to happen. It is going to happen. I mean,
I see that happen. I see that happening. And especially when you said, you still maintain
65, I still jamming. Like seriously? Would Vincent still appreciate this artist that did so much in 2012? Would they remember her when she's 60? I don't know. So for now it's working. It's working for me, and I will give it to them. They want that. They love me as an artist, and they want this. I will give it to them, but it's not going to be a forever thing.
Okay, and what's new musically? What should we expect for? Because we know you've been probably doing some work now that it's COVID time. You know, COVID slowed up everyone. What's new should we expect when the place opens up?
Music, good music. It tempts me before to drop some of what I have in store, but some people, let me put it this way, some people get the opportunity to record for free. So they could drop music and they don't care if it's a miss. They don't care if people forget it next year. For me, I spend for what I have. So if I have something to let go, it's because I know, okay, I can get a couple of shows or a season coming up and this is what is going to happen. I don't have the excess to drop and hope that it don't miss and it becomes a hit. So I'm very peculiar as to when I want to drop something right now, simply because of the pandemic. But things, yes, it get bad again because of the new strain, but people are learning to cope with it at a daily basis and see, now they're talking about a carnival with people who are fully vaccinated. Let's just hope that there's a stage at some point in time. If there's a stage, there's Fya Empress.
Okay, because that was going to lead to my next question, because on your Instagram page, you're an advocate for the vaccine. And I was just going to ask you if you're ready and all set to go to tour again or to do shows again outside of the UK.
I'm very ready. I took my vaccine very early for more than one reasons. My mom and my dad are very much still alive, and I wanted to protect them. When I go home to St. Vincent, I go to the family house, and I did not want to be the outcast. I've done the outcast in one way already. I don't want to be the outcast again and carry something for them because I'm always traveling. So I took the vaccine. And like I say, yes, I'm always traveling. So I wanted an easy going. I don't want to be, so, and it hasn't killed me. It didn't give me any extra breasts or any extra legs or hands. So, yeah.
Yeah. And before I wrap up, is there anything that we didn't ask you? Because I know we're going to have you back for another interview, because I don't think
another one would work for me. It was a pleasure, indeed a pleasure being here. I feel like if a weight lift off for me, because I can finally speak out. Like I say, the people who are actually listening now should count themselves lucky, because I have not been this vocal in quite a long time about who Fya Empress really is and where she came from. A lot of people, people get the opportunity to interview you all the time, and they always ask the wrong questions. And I'm a person, once you ask me a question, I would answer you. And they just never really got this from me. And I feel really good tonight, because I think that some people would view me differently from tonight. now that they have known who I am.
We're grateful, Fya Empress. Just tell, before I pass it to Sip, just tell people where they can follow you on the social media.
I am on Facebook as Lornet Ned, and then there's my Fya Empress page. I am Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Fya Empress, Instagram, Fya Empress, everything Fya Empress. Please, I've been trying to get this into people's head all the time. It is not F-I-R-E, it is F-Y-A. Reason for being, when I had F-I-R-E, Facebook used to tell me, oh, you're talking about fire, and we're not thinking. So I had to change the whole name to F-Y-A. That's where the spelling came in. So it's F-Y-A Empress, Fya Empress, on all the platforms. Yes.
All right, Fya Empress, it's been a pleasure. I'm happy you opened up to us. We're grateful, and continue to make good music for us, man. And we missed some new stuff. We want to hear some new stuff, and keep being good. You look happy. You look content, So all the best in your endeavor. And I'll just let Sip have the last word.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. To the people who were listening, thank you guys for your listening ear. You can definitely look forward to more from Fya Empress, and you could definitely look forward to me on another interview here, for sure.
That's for sure. This is your radio station now. You can let people know that anytime they want to find you, they will find you on Vincy Internet Radio. It was really a pleasure to be around. Just let your partner know that we apologize for you coming to dinner too late. It was a pleasure talking to you, and also a pleasure talking to someone who I followed from since you were the first time you came to St. Vincent. I mean, I was in Canada at that time, but I always follow back what happened in St. Vincent. Once again, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming and joining us. And anything you want to say just before you leave, the last word is yours.
Thank you guys very, very much for having me. And I will definitely be back again. Thanks to my fans for supporting me all these years and still supporting me. Thank you guys a million. I really, really, really appreciate.
Before you go, say hello to the people in Europe and the UK. They are listening as well. Say hello to them.
So the people in the UK, it's 11 o'clock now, 11:15, time for we to go and sleep.
Work tomorrow.
Thank you guys very much.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah.